How did you think that went?
Um,
What would your feedback to you be?
Probably not as good as I did in the practice room.
Yeah? Out of 10, what would you say for the
Um,
first movement stuff? I thought it went quite well. How did you think it went?
First movement, I'd say probably 4.5.
Okay. What didn't you like about it?
I think like when it comes to especially the first excerpt, it's mostly just like left hand, right hand coordination.
Mm-hmm.
That usually I don't really do too well. And then for the second excerpt from the first movement, it's like a lot of the string crossing. Like I tend to kind of squeeze a lot when it comes to those string crossings.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much for the most part. And probably the stroke. I don't think I was like too consistent on the spiccato.
There were some little things, particularly in like parts like measure 118, where you're going from quarter note slurs into the eighth note stroke,
Oh yeah.
where it took a little bit to establish. Overall, I think you absolutely have the right idea. I was actually very impressed by the way you handled those thirds coming down in the second excerpt. Puppy, 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 pump. I thought it did quite well. If you're having tension in your hand, maybe that's something to explore with the way you hold the bow. If it's causing a lot of tension, this is inherently a stroke that's going to potentially cause some tension because you're working kind of against the grain of how the bass wants to be played by doing down bow and that string crossing. So doing it for a long amount of time, I could understand feeling tense. But maybe something to look at is maybe loosening up that grip, but it's just a tightrope. Some of this is just really difficult. I think you handled it quite well. What about the fourth movement?
Oh, can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
So when it comes to the string crossing, what part of the bow are you normally in?
Balance point. We're just underneath. Yep.
Okay.
Puppy, 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 puppy. If it gets too far under the hand, it's going to be no good. The balance point is sort of the closing in on the end of where you can still control the crossing with weight from the arm. So the balance point are just inside. But if you're thinking under the hand, it's going to be too close, and you're going to choke off that sound with like that vertical pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always think light and think pulling the sound out sideways. What did you think about the fourth movement?
That didn't really go too well, especially on the eighth notes. I think I was pretty sloppy for the most part.
Okay. Were you nervous?
Yes, very nervous.
Okay.
I don't know if you could see about the beginning. I was like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is just like it's a lot of the. Once again, kind of like the same thing with the first excerpt for the first movie, just a lot of that coordination kind of thing.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
like a lot. It was very off.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Have you prepared this excerpt before?
No, I just started it this week.
For a first time, it's really excellent work. There's nothing to be ashamed about. It's really, really solid work. It's doing really well. I think once you come back to this, the more times you come back to it, the faster it'll get, and you'll get more of that fluency. But you have the exact right idea with that groundwork. There are little things that we'll talk about later, but it's a really, really solid job. Well done. Good job. Did anybody else have a small bit of feedback?
Oh, one thing, the half notes in the fourth movement were kind of punchy, especially the piano ones. Like, just like less attack in front of the half notes. That's it. That was good.
I think just like overall in general, you already like get like a really good sound out of the bass, but I think overall you could like get more sound. It almost feels like maybe you're, I don't know, maybe not, I don't know how do you think like.
Yeah, because like I'm not actually. That's my big problem. I don't actually use back weight. I don't know how to use back weight at all. So like like if you were to feel my back when I do the stroke, these muscles like, don't move at all. It's just like so I'm mostly pressing and holding the bow.
Do me a favor, put your bass down for a second. Spread out from everything, maybe move the stand back a minute. Find a place where you can really let your arms swing. Sit, let your arms sit from the shoulder, right? So stand, kind of face me. Let those arms drop dead weight down, so you're not using any of those muscles. Now, rotate sideways from the hips. You'll feel your arms swing. Don't pick those arms up at all. Just feel the swing. Yep, that's exactly right. Yep, they just ragdoll around with that side. That's the feeling you want to be generating, right? Down bow, up bow. That's really exaggerated, but that's the basic idea behind getting your arm and shoulder weight in. Now, let's take that idea, go ahead and pick up your bass. Take that same fluid, sort of limp, body weight swingy idea. No bow yet, hold your bow in your left for a second. We're going to get to the bow.
Okay.
have that same idea. Instead of your feet, when you're sitting, think of your sit bones, those two bones coming at the bottom of your butt as you're grounding into the ground, as well as your feet. Swing from the side. Feel a little bit in the hips. What I want you to do, without picking up your arm, without using effort from your arm, go all your arm weight into the string. Yup, bingo. I wish I could. If you have someone that lives with you that you trust to not have COVID, something you can do is hold your arm weight out right over the string, have them hold up your arm so that all your arm weight is coming, and then they'll release, and you'll fall, and you'll feel how much arm weight is there to use. Now, final step of this, take up the bow, make your nice bow grip, right? Come over the top, do that same point, stick on the string, and then take it down by the back. Try that. Or pull sideways. A little more speed. Whom. Yeah. It's big, right? All of that arm weight is just waiting there to be used, right? That's a really good thing in the morning if you're feeling tense or tight, like you're not having contact into that back and arms. That's something small to think about. Sort of moving that dead weight from dead weight and feeling that drop into the fingerboard, and then moving it sideways. Right? Good. Cool. Really, really good job.
Thank you.